Hey guys, welcome. We got a really special stream tonight. We are entering the one and only Insane Artist while we play through some of his greatest scenes from his prolific back catalogue. Ian, welcome. Thanks for joining. Oh, a pleasure, man. Always have enjoyed your scenes, always since, way back when I first started getting into dreams. Nearly 2 years ago, and it was always like massively inspiring, and it's just continued to inspire me to this day because you keep pushing the boundaries, I think, of what's possible with realism in dreams. It's amazing what you come up with, and like the water the water effects that you're doing, for instance, just mind-blowing. So this scene is really interesting, isn't it? Because this is a little kind of comparison piece. This is a newer scene that you made and you remade. So if we go and look at the old scene, this is something you made like way back when. So this is one of the really, really early scenes that you made, and even this, it's pretty impressive. I mean, there's a lot of people that couldn't make something like this even now. But the difference between what you did, when was this made? Like 2.5 years ago, like early access kind of timeline for this original. Yeah. Mm. 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 And I mean, it's always been like you've always been making the rocks and the trees yourself, and you've always been pushing, what can be done. So, these are really nice looking rocks, but they're quite cartoony in comparison, aren't they? The early dreams aesthetic. Oh, I think he's saying he can't hear you. Hang on a sec. They're saying they can't hear you. Say something. We'll just test this. Say something. We'll just test this. Oh no, we're not hearing you. Okay, this is bizarre. Yeah, shoot indeed. Well, this is annoying. Okay. Why would you not be? Yeah. Let me just check, because you've just checked your broadcast options, sharing and broadcast settings, haven't you? And it's saying. So you got include mic audio in broadcast, include share party audio. That's all ticked. Yeah, in hindsight, it was probably a better idea to connect on the PS4, so we would know what was working, what was not. Oh, there we go. There seems to be an extra option on PS.
What about? Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, there we go. We got it. Okay.
Hello.
Now your voice.
So yes.
There we go. So
Thanks for having me.
We had a
on this
PS5 version.
Yeah, the PS5. So on the PS5, they have all these options and menus and settings and places that we wouldn't think to look.
Right. So there's like this extra setting that you just found, allow my voice to be shared on top of all the other ones that you'd already ticked.
Right. So. Exactly. It's I don't know. Like with I have both the new PlayStation and the Xbox, and the Xbox menu. Wow. They kept everything exactly the same, so you can. You know exactly what you're doing, but PS5, they just wanted to mix it all up. It's entirely different. Every location of everything is in different spots.
That just sounds like Japanese things, They just like to make things difficult. Look at their games. I mean, they're like some of the hardest games in existence. They like to make people struggle.
Yes, apparently.
Anyway, now that we've got a two-sided conversation, I was saying about this scene and its something that you made way back in early access, wasn't
yes.
it?
Early access, I got early access right when it came out, and I probably had a month of just struggling and trying to figure out what I was doing. So probably a month or so afterwards, I made this scene. After I'd made a few assets and a couple trees and yep.
And that's how it started, because you came onto Dreams off the back of being quite well known in Far Cry
Yes.
5 map editor.
Yes.
You had some
and
things
4
on
as
there,
well.
and
Yes.
4, and you had some maps on there that were played like thousands and thousands of times by the community.
Couple 100,000 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I
you
have
already had
two
a bit
maps
of a
called.
bit
Yeah,
of a following.
two maps called the. I made a whole Looper series, which I've of course done in Dreams as well, but and I had the developers on Far Cry 5 feature Looper 2, and it got over 100,000 plays on each platform.
Wow, that's
so I guess
incredible.
If you add it up, it'd be a lot of plays.
Yeah, definitely. And now we're looking at the newest version of this scene that you've remade.
Yes.
Even more recently, and this shows the true evolution of your craft over the last 2 years or so.
Yes.
You can see the photorealism. You've got the way you're using the lighting and the fog to create the mistiness and to create that depth. You've got the butterflies in the foreground. You've got the plants. Everything is just it's so real. I think the only way you could make it more real is to have more thermo to play with, really, to be able to have even more detail and things in there. But I mean, it's a gorgeous scene, and your waterfalls.
Thank you.
Talk us through the effect that how you get that effect with the waterfall, because you've shown me, but I'm sure it's something that people would be interested to.
Yes,
to
it's
hear.
not terribly difficult to get. I'm combining a number of effects, so I use very high impasto. I use the dot effect. I go in often I'll just sculpt the general shape of the waterfall, and I'll do surface snaps, so the water, and draw it from top to bottom and over the rocks. So I'll build like the waterfall with the rocks, including where the water is going to flow with the rocks.
So you're snapping,
aren't
you? You're actually snapping, like you're using snap surface to draw along the contours and things of the rocks themselves, and that creates that lovely flow effect, which combined with the built-in tweak animation creates the flowing water effect that looks so good.
Yeah, so
on there.
So that's one layer, but I also made a paint layer. Basically, I use dots, and the same thing. I draw it from kind of top to bottom. With paint, you have to draw a certain direction. You have to start at the top and draw down in a straight line, and then it's kind of an animation. I don't use the effects flow because it never gets it fast enough. There's an animation bar that you can slide that gets it a lot faster.
Yeah, and you've got more control over, say, the way it looks then, because you can change all the other things to fit around it and get the effect you're looking for.
Correct. And that will get the fast enough water, and as long as you paint them in the right direction, it will flow in the right direction. Anytime you kind of wiggle or move the paint, it remembers where the movement, and it will flow in that kind of direction of the strokes. So as you make, and then I turn the transparency way down to like 20 or 15%. I add a shine to it, and I have a little bit of glow, and then put that over kind of on the sides and over the top of the waterfall. That creates that sort of transparent look, that kind of a misty water spray look. And combining those two, you get a better effect. And similar with the with kind of the ground and the water. I'm using kind of the same idea.
And it's different layers, isn't it, to create, like, you want
right.
this bit flowing faster, this bit is sort of going at a different angle,
right.
and you're just combining those effects. So there's quite
right.
a few different layers of paint and things and sculpt there to create your water effects. But I've seen my fair share of waterfalls. I've been to Iceland, which is full of waterfalls, and
beautiful.
Absolutely incredible. And your waterfalls are just close, really, really close to I've experienced in real life. But you're always improving, so I'm sure that in 6 months' time we'll look back at some of the stuff you're doing now, and you'll be like, yeah, it's not that good, really, compared to what you're doing now, because your techniques and things is just constantly evolving, and this is what's so cool about looking back through your catalogue tonight, that we can see, I didn't realise that I could move. I'm like there, and I'm like,
yes,
I just touched my pad. Yeah.
Yes, the last scene
this is
you
the
can
walking.
Walk around.
Yeah, this is the walking scene. That's right. Yeah,
right.
This is the walking scene. And
so
it's
there's
a small scene, but
it's a small scene. So there's kind of a bluish water in the river. That's a paint effect.
Yes,
and
that's
for some
really,
reason,
really good effect to get that, because the way transparency works with paint so well.
Right, I use that all the time, and I have not been able to replicate it.
Oh,
it's this one surface kind of thing. I don't remember how exactly I did it, but when I've tried to recreate it, it always looked wrong or different, and it didn't look the same. And somehow the flow is different directions, so it creates all this kind of different movement, motion. And the scene is available, or the water asset is available for anyone to use.
Yeah, I've actually used.
But I have not been able to replicate it again.
Oh wow!
So I just kind of throw that on after I do the water effects, and then the sculpture flows, and then the shiny rocks underneath that. Then I add that just on top, so it's just above and it's transparent.
And all those layers, then they come together, and they create the finished effect.
It feels wetter, and you can kind of see through it, and you can see the rocks underneath it. It kind of finalizes the water.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look. This is the first Serenity Falls, so if we could just see.
Yes.
There's no version history, so. Oh, okay, no, because you remixed it. It was a remix.
Yeah.
Of the original Serenity Falls. There we go.
Yes.
So when did you publish? Well, you updated it 30 months ago. So yeah, it's 2.5 years old. This original one that we looked at. So yeah, that's quite a long time ago.
And the water's pretty dated.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just want to say hello to our viewers. Hi, Mike. Hi, Miyataku, Night Owl. And everyone else that's watching. Tonight we've got the one and only IansaneArtist, and we're looking through his back catalogue of incredible art. We're playing through Dreams of Nature, which is a collection of some of his favourite scenes, some of his best scenes that he has made.
One of my newest, yes.
And some of his newest as well. There's quite a lot, and as we go through them, we're going to be chatting. Please, if you've got questions, if you want to know how Ian's done something that we're looking at, ask away in the chat. We're all yours, and Ian will try to explain the process behind his art. But let's take it away. There's a lot of scenes in this. There's about 50 or so. So there's tons of inspiration to come.
I've been adding them gradually since the first scene.
Yeah.
Basically, the first scene was a breakthrough scene, and then Media Molecule featured it as MM pick. Was my very first MM pick, and I was really excited, and I was like, whoa, the MM picked me, and they had not really, I thought I would snuck under the radar for all this time before that. And so I just kind of kept adding new scenes over the last couple years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, because this is something. Oh, this is actually one of your very recent scenes.
Yes.
Now this is gorgeous because you've got you've got the waves crashing, and it looks so realistic the way they look at that. They crash against the rock, and it actually shoots back, in a sort of kind of fashion. I mean, that's yeah,
It's really
it's just
only three
remarkable, isn't it?
timelines
Yeah.
in this scene. It's kind of getting the layers and the look just right and timing the timelines
Mm.
um, so
Yeah,
that they
keyframes and
work.
timelines are extremely powerful elements of dreams. They're very simple, but they can be used in such
Yes.
powerful ways. And because everything can be keyframed, so everything can be animated, whether it's, looseness or any of the effects or the animation or the colors. And, it's if you just have an idea, if you can think about how to do it, you usually can in dreams. There's usually a method to create an effect, isn't
Hmm.
there? It's just you've got to sort of
Yeah.
think around it. This scene, this reminds me, and I think you confirmed this, is based on Church Mountain in Iceland, the one that
Yes. Yes.
Spicticus actually made an incredible scene of
Yes.
a few months ago, and this is your interpretation of
Yeah.
that same mountain, isn't it? Now, when I went to Iceland, I never actually saw this. Um,
Mm.
I never actually saw this part of Iceland because Iceland, although it's a small island, it's quite big, and a lot of the areas are kind of off the beaten track. So we sort of hired a car after a few days in Reykjavik, and we drove around the A road, the ring road. Basically, it goes all the way around the country, and we were able to see,
Yes.
the volcano and all the volcanic bits and all the
Mm.
waterfalls, and we went
Cool.
to oh, I can't remember what it was called, but it was one of those natural spas, like areas where you can just go for a dip in the natural spa, and that was gorgeous. But we didn't
Nice.
go too far off the beaten tracks into the wild, if you like, which is where you would find, I think, this might even be at the northwest part of Iceland, which we didn't get to because it
Yes.
was quite difficult to. You'd have to sort of go there and then come back. It was quite a way up and down. But it's a stunning place, and the lighting in this one is really good. Like, I really like the way the light is hitting the waterfall there and
Thank
the
you.
part of the mountain. Yeah, really gorgeous.
Yeah, I've been using a lot of text boxes for the gradients in the skies and
Yeah,
a
I
couple key
noticed
spotlights.
that. Yeah,
It's
because
a
you're
the
using a
text
combination now,
boxes.
aren't you? Mhm.
Yes, the text box really add a lot of. I've been actually staying away from the Dreams fog effect
Okay.
more and using text box for background fog and
Yeah.
different layers of text boxes and getting it very transparent and
Because if you
there's
use the third tweak on text boxes,
that's
that
right.
allows you to get the gradient effect, which is what you use
Correct.
to get the gradual change in sky
Right.
color
And
that is very realistic, because
exactly.
that's exactly how a sky looks, especially at sort of sunset or whatever, and that's how you get those really striking gradients in the
Yes.
back of your scenes, and they really do
Yeah.
enhance a great deal.
Yeah. Turn down opacity. There's 3 bars, and I slide them kind of all the way over to the right.
Mm.
And the bottom one is what really gets it looking like a gradient.
And it needs to be very subtle. It needs to be in the high 90s anymore, and it starts looking, it starts being too obvious. So you really need it in like those last couple of clicks, don't you, to get the
Right.
effect without it looking too obvious and too kind of fake. Because I've experimented with those myself as well, and I found that they're very good, but you are very limited in the kind of range that you are using for them to look good. Oh, what's this?
That's right.
This
Yeah.
is an interesting one with the moon, the stars. So what sort of forest
You
is
must be on
this?
my aspen grove.
Yes, I think I am. And now we're on, because there's a little bit of a delay, isn't there, from what I'm seeing to
Yes.
what you see. And this one thing I really like, and it's extremely useful, is these big the assets that you make, which are sort of background assets. So you've got one which is like a piece of ground full of like really low poly trees, and another one that's just kind of ground with the grass. And those, because they're able to be made like really large and stuff, they can fill up the areas really effectively, and they work so well for the background because Dreams has got this fantastic level of detail effect where things that are further away don't look flecky even if they are really low detail. So you can really cheat the system by having low detail things to fill the background. Like this one, for instance, that's a really low poly kind of background mountain in the back there with those trees. They're just sort of like flecks, aren't they, when you get up close? Really.
Yeah, they're just triangles, really.
Yeah, exactly. They're just
and
triangles.
I turned up the flex. Yep.
From afar, they look like you've got a tree line going up the hill there.
Exactly.
Now this scene showcases something that I think you were the first one, I think, to really get this in terms of making it look right. We'd sort of seen we'd seen reflections done before, but it wasn't until you started doing reflections that they actually started looking correct, because it's all about the lighting, isn't it? You've got to have the right lighting and the right kind of colour contrast to make it look like it's properly reflecting. It can't be an exact mirror image of the colours. You have to do something. So what do you do with the lighting to get that effect that we're seeing there, where it looks extremely realistic? If you were standing there, that's kind of what the reflection would appear as.
Right. Well, I'm using again text boxes.
Okay.
And I'm using a very large flat text box, and I put it, when I pretty much mirror the objects, the hills or the trees, and then I just mirror and copy them, line it up so it looks like exactly top to bottom, a mirror image. And then right at that point where they intersect, you'd want to keep that line flat, perfectly flat. And then I put the text box there right at that line. And it's very large, and I make it, I turn down the opacity down to probably about 15 or 20%. And then I add kind of a darker gray tone to it, maybe a skosh of blue, but mostly just turn it to a darker gray. And that gives it, because water often looks a little bit darker than the sky.
Right.
And so that makes it look like, there's the water there. And then again, I'm using that paint object, the same one I've been using for the streams that I can't recreate for some reason yet. And I put that in the kind of the foreground part and turn the opacity way down, and slow down the movement of it. And that can kind of create the shoreline effect of water rippling. And then the text box kind of fills in the rest of it towards the distance.
Okay, wow. And you can also see the sort of the clouds. Like if you look in the closer foreground, it looks like you've got the clouds actually reflecting off the water as well there. So you've got the mountains, but then where the gap is, the clouds are actually, it's actually lighter, because obviously you haven't got a mountain in the way. So yeah, that's extremely realistic.
Exactly.
Brilliant. And yeah, that tree, the southern live oak on the left there that was dominating the foreground, is made by Anime Boy, who's
which one?
The one on
the big
left.
Tree on the left is I made that tree. That's
so that wasn't the southern live oak then. Maybe
no, that's one of my newer.
Oh, okay.
Large. Actually, Anime Boy asked me to. He wanted to see me make a live oak tree. And so I did a very old growth.
That's why he's got the word challenge there, because he challenged you. Yeah.
Yeah, he challenged me, and I made that tree.
I misread it as he was
no
taking
worries.
credit
No
for the
worries.
tree. But I know that
he has done so many great trees. It's easy to.
Yeah, I know that you do use his assets quite a lot in your scenes.
Oh,
and
yes.
He uses yours in his and our scenes. I pretty much go to you and Anime Boy for pretty much anything when I'm making a scene on my own. When I made Road Home, I pretty much used your mountains, your your sort of nature assets and your background stuff, and then I used his buildings and my cars, and just sort of, so yeah, just drawing from quite a narrow pool of talent these days. That just provides me with everything I need.
Yeah, I tend to use exactly. I tend to do the same thing. I have about 5 or 6 friends who make really nice assets that I will use in my scenes to kind of fill in what I have not made. And I tend not to use too many from the general community, because even though there's some nice looking ones out there, a lot of them aren't made real efficiently.
No, that's a big problem. That's definitely a big problem, is that they're made with too many pieces, and it's unnecessary things like having separate branches for like a tree, so you end up with a tree with like 50 branches, and each of those branches is a piece, and
which I've done once. I'll be honest, I did that once.
But you might do that if you wanted to make a super detailed tree where every branch individually moves. But if in general, it depends what you're going for. I mean, if it was a scene like this, then you would be fine with it, because it would be a showcase of that particular asset, and you could afford it. But if you're trying to use something more general, then you can't afford it. You can't afford that. This is, I think,
one of my better water scenes. And it's the same thing with the text box, having that line and having the lower half a little bit grayer and darker, and then using those same paint water over it, and then I filled in the foreground so you can see the rocks underneath the water, kind of along the shoreline.
Yeah.
And I hid, basically it just drops off at one point, but I hid it with the paint effects so that it looks like you can walk into it, and it disappears
and this one you
into
actually
the water.
made a walking version, didn't you, of this one? I remember walking around this one, because this was one of the first ones where you were like, oh, I'm going to make a walking version of my scenes. So you'd make this scene initially, and then you'd be like, right, here's a walking version, and you started doing that quite regularly with your sort of newer scenes, which was really cool.
I threw this one in Cascade Falls.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, no, it's again, the lighting and things just are brilliant.
Thank you.
And that tree, that's quite a expensive tree, that one in the foreground, I imagine. Yeah, because that's a showcase tree. That's a tree where
it is.
You are looking at it and you're seeing all the detail, and it's not flecky at all. It's incredibly detailed, and there's the bark, and I know Anime Boy was always extremely impressed by your bark, and he was always trying to like get to your level with the bark, because he always felt like he was good with the leaves. But and he has got to a really good level with the bark. But it was something that he felt challenged. He felt like you were challenging him in a way by what you made. And I think you guys have this really interesting dynamic where when you make something, you're secretly challenging each other to better it, and so you keep each other kind of evolving your craft, which is really cool, because you're both just getting better and better and better as Dreams goes on, and you're creating not only things that look better, but also you're finding ways to make them more efficient as well, from a thermo point of view, so we're able to actually use more of them and use them in more scenes. Oh wow, this one's sky is just. So this one's got the spotlights, hasn't it, for the sun glare effect that we see there.
Those are the spotlights. Those are text boxes.
Oh, those are text
those
boxes.
Beams. Those are text boxes. Same kind of, made them kind of long, and the gradient, and turned opacity down.
I remember this scene. I remember you when you were making this. You and Anime Boy were in chat, and you were making this scene, and you were just like, "Oh, look at all these trees I can place," and you just. And you were like,
"This is the Bad Robo one."
Yeah, this is the Bad Robo sort of Robo Rays trademark.
So basically, it's my trees and Anime Boy's in this one. I did the fir trees, and then he did the conifer trees, and then I used the bad robos, robo rays, threw those in there, and another one with those we put a spotlight behind them. They're kind of tricky to use.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Oh, this is nice. So a lot of the ones in this are the more automated scenes where you've got the camera going from point A to point B, not so much the walking ones. Where you can have a wander. You sort of left those as their own separate kind of dreams.
Yeah, they're on different dreams.
Right. Yeah.
The time loopers or the dream loopers, I put a lot of the walking versions into those dreams.
Right. Oh, this is cool because you sort of jump up.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You can press. You can press it to see 2 other viewpoints.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and again, it's that sense of scale that you get is really, really great as well. Because I think that's one of the things that I think me, you, and Anime Boy all try to do with whatever we make is give that sense that it expands beyond, what you're looking at. And I think that's a skill of level design or artistry or whatever you want to call it. But it's easy to make something that kind of looks pretty, but to make something that actually looks like it expands outside of the screen, and to have those techniques and effects, to be able to put that's a skill in itself, isn't it? Because this looks like there's more beyond, even though if you go into the level it just kind of ends. But it's the way you use things like the fog, it's the way that you have the angles of the mountains and things, and it's all those sort of little techniques that you can basically make it seem like it's just going to expand out further. And it's the same with like background stuff when you're doing like a third person or first person or racing game or something. It's making it seem like everything goes much bigger than the playable area. And that, for me,
dreams,
that is really important in any sort of scene that we create, because I always kind of notice when I play other people's levels, particularly ones where you're actually able to walk around and stuff. I always really notice when something just kind of ends, when it just looks like there's a bit that's just kind of, that's just the end of the level. It's really obvious that there's nothing beyond. And for me, personally, I just think that's a little bit lazy. I just think, like, well, they could have put something in there just to make it seem, even if it's just a bunch of trees stretching into the background or a big mountain or something. But when you just end it with emptiness, that just, it's just not very professional, is it? You don't see that in professional games. Every professional game that you play, AAA game or whatever that you play, it has that technique being used. Everything looks self-contained and it looks like it expands beyond the playable area. So yeah, it's a little thing, but it's important, I think, and it's something that a lot of sort of less experienced creators maybe forget to do, and that really helps finish. Put the polish on the level. This is another great reflection one. Here we go. This one is one of my favourites, actually. This is there's something about the way that you've got the lighting here. It's just the background lighting, the contrast with the background lighting and the foreground lighting just looks so real.
Oh, the fall colors one?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's just...
that one turned out pretty well.
I remember these scenes because you did these for the autumn, Dreams of Winter, Dreams of Nature Autumn.
For the autumn contest,
for the
or map jam,
contest.
I mean.
That's right, the community jam, that's right.
Community jam. Yeah, but in regards to the depth, I've noticed people tend not to make things look big enough and far enough away.
Mm-hmm. Right, and
the Dreams is a very big Dreams is gives you a very big space to work with, bigger than, say, like Far Cry 5 had a much smaller area to work with, and so at first, I was making my mountains not that big, and they were really too close. Yeah. But as I figured out, you could actually it was better just to make them really large.
Yeah, and you create
send
that
them
depth,
further back,
which gives that distance. Yeah, that feel of distance,
and if you get the sky settings right, then it really adds to that.
Yeah, definitely. And the lighting as well, is crucial. I think, Martin DK said that, and he's demonstrated it multiple times, this is without lighting, this is with lighting, and you see the massive difference good lighting makes to any scene. Good lighting can make a mediocre scene pop, and a very good scene a masterpiece. It's a very
he's really
underrated,
good at lighting.
Yes, he really is. It's a very underrated skill, is lighting. And it's something I don't, still fully understand. I don't think I ever really will, but for me, it's a lot of trial and error. You seem to have got it down to a real kind of fine art with your scenes, and you seem to know exactly what you're doing to get the effect that you're going for. I tend to do a lot of, I tend to do a lot of playing around until I get something. I'm like, okay, that's quite cool. A lot of happy accidents. This is a wintry scene with a bit of snow. Yeah, sort of. I feel like we're going.
The snow is by John Beach.
Okay.
John Beach has made, I think, the best snow effect, so I keep coming back to him. Fantastic. I should probably try to figure out a good snow effect on my own, but he's done it so well. I just kind of, at the end of my winter scene, it's so easy to just put it in because he's done such a good job with these snow effects.
And then we go from the snow to the desert, and we get a very empty-looking desert with some, those awesome rocks. And now we're back. We're now on a mountain, and we're now, we're high above the clouds. You can see the Himalayas.
These are the same desert assets that are used in Noguchi's Bell. And so the creator, Michael, had me make the desert assets especially for the game, and I'm glad he did. So I wanted to put a scene together, kind of testing them out, and that was that desert scene.
We can talk a little bit about Noguchi's Bell if you like in a bit, and talk about your kind of role, if you're able to talk a little bit about that. That would be really good. Thion's been saying some things in the comment about things, and it's difficult because you think you take the things and you think, I can just take a mountain and things, but there's more to it than just taking a mountain. You've got to have a feel for the depth and the size and the way things go together and composition, all that. So it's not easy. Not anyone can do it. I mean, anyone can put a scene together, but it takes a certain something to be able to make that scene really come alive and look, realistic and kind of epic.
We're definitely going back in time with these scenes. Each one is a little bit older, so the quality, I think, is getting a little less with each one.
Yeah, so we're actually going back now, and we're seeing almost like a reverse evolution.
Pretty much.
As you said, if we'd have thought about this beforehand, we could have actually got you to set it up so that it went chronologically through. With a bit more planning, but that was sort of something I suggested 5 minutes before the start of the stream. Was like, that would be cool. Why didn't we think of that? A day before. But
sometimes you always think of it too late.
But I mean, you can see, can't you, the way that even like your assets, the way that they've kind of evolved. You've got so many different rocks and mountains, and I know that you've recently redone a lot of your mountains, and you've like optimized and improved them beyond what they were initially. Another thing that I'm going to mention as well is the music, because you write all your own music, don't you? Because you are actually a musician outside of Dreams, and you play music.
Yeah, I go by Painted Water,
which is your Twitter handle, incidentally.
Yeah, and it's also my music band or music. So I've taken a couple of my themes, my compositions, and put them into Dreams.
That's fantastic.
For a lot of these.
And they're very distinctive, it's because you hear them so much as you use them in your scenes. They're very kind of like, this isn't the Insane Artist scene, even if you don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't see the credits or whatever, it's like it's distinctive. I think I actually used one of your tracks that you made, which I think you made for Roadstar, which you made with Java. But yes. I used that as one of the music tracks in Blue Shift, in the desert scene, because it just fit the vibe so well of what I was kind of going for the different areas that you drive. But yeah, no, it's really, really cool. And you've got this, I don't know, it's like all the guitars and stuff, that's just the synths. You're not recording anything into Dreams, like playing a real guitar or anything. You're just using what's in Dreams as a synthesized guitar, and just plucking away electronically.
I really wish there was an easy way to do MIDI.
Yeah, that really does seem like something that they need to implement as part of because you could hook up an electric guitar, you could hook up a keyboard, you could even hook up an electronic drum set, via MIDI, and then you could just record directly onto Dreams, because the capability is there. Dreams has got the tools and the functionality to be able to do that, and there is actually an unofficial MIDI keyboard, like MIDI app, I think, but I think it only works for Apple. The person that made it, I think it only works for Apple. I don't think there's a Android sort of version, unless somebody's come out with one later. But an official Dreams implementation would be most welcome for musicians.
I see a comment. There is one for.
There is MIDI for keyboards.
Yeah, and I have that for my when I compose normally. I have the MIDI inputs, but how to get that into Dreams so that I can
directly,
so I can play, because that's how I more comfortable composing is on the piano keys, and I would have probably written about 3 to 4 times as many tracks as I've done if I could just play them down on the keyboard, because it just takes so much longer to do it note by note, and then to just play each part, record it.
There we go.
Layer it, so on and so forth.
Ko says MIDI to OSC, which is the one I was thinking about, which is the Apple version. They says there is a PC version available for that.
I'm on Apple.
You're on Apple. Oh, so if you're on Apple, then there's actually a actual MIDI to OSC is actually something that will do that. I think it might have even been made by Alex. Yeah, it's been made specifically for that. It was made a long time ago. I want to say it was made by Alex Evans, but it might not have been. But there's definitely is a MIDI thing for Dreams, but it only works on Apple. So maybe.
I still don't know how I would use that, because my keyboard and computer setup's in a different room than the Dreams console.
Yeah, not an official thing, but it was made by Alex Evans, right? Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I think it's a sort of intermediary thing, maybe. I'm not sure. But there we go. MIDI to OSC is the name of it. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth checking out, as you've got an Apple. Might make things easier for you. It would be great to hear more of your music in Dreams.
Yeah, it would be really nice. Because I can't. They don't allow us to port in music that I've recorded outside of Dreams, even though I wrote it into Dreams, because it conflicts with a copyright issue with the MIDI, with the sounds.
Yeah, with the samples.
The sound libraries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I asked Ed from Media Molecule this very question. He says, no, you can't.
I think
they just do that.
I think basically because it's just so complex, they're just sort of like, let's just keep it simple and just say no. But actually, it's on a case by case basis. But they don't want to deal with case by case, so they're just sort of like blanket ban to keep things simple. Because when you get synths and stuff, then there are all these kind of terms of how you use it and whether it can be used commercially and this, that, and the other, and having that onto Dreams would just increase the likelihood of infringements and things, and he probably wouldn't ever come to anything, but they just got to cover their back, I suppose, haven't they, when it comes to these
I think that's probably it.
And it's easier for them to just come up with one rule rather than, but in this case and in this case, but not in this, it'll get really complicated.
Right.
So yeah, I can kind of understand that, but it is kind of frustrating for people that do make music outside of Dreams that they can't necessarily bring them in. I mean,
I have I have over hundreds of tracks that would be perfect to get in here, and I can't.
A lot of grey, Co, that's right. And you can't import their instruments, but you can import the music, but you can only import 30 seconds at a time, so you'd only be able to import sort of short loops anyway. I don't know, it's grey. It's definitely grey.
Yeah.
So we're just going now back. We're sort of bouncing around, aren't we, between different times that you've made these scenes. This one's quite a long one, actually. You're doing a lot of
you can just skip it by pressing triangle or one of the buttons.
Okay, does it not end?
This one will kind of just loop unless you press.
Okay.
You might have hid the AI or the UI.
There we go. Circle it was too. Oh, here we go. This is nice. Got the grass in the foreground. So that's another thing you use is the cookies.
Yep. And here's the original scene. This is the scene that hearted. And that's what it kind of inspired me. It was thanks to them. It inspired me to keep adding to this whole, because it really was just one dream of nature, but I called it Dreams of Nature. So I should keep adding scenes to it, and I'll keep adding scenes to it till I run into my 100 scene limit.
And then you'll just be like, okay, we'll take out some of the lesser scenes and replace them with some of the newer scenes.
I'll just leave it alone and make another one.
It'll be complete. It'll be like, we're not touching it anymore. Fair enough. Yeah, sort of serves as a kind of a memory.
Kind of a library of
a library of your work. Yeah.
From older to semi-old to newest. And this is being the oldest scene here. This scene was inspired by Albert Bierstadt painting.
Okay, who's Albert Bierstadt for?
He's a kind of a famous 1800 romantic realism artist. He did a lot of kind of Rocky Mountain. Really nice, realistic paintings from in the 1800s.
Okay.
Albert Bierstadt.
Bierstadt.
Look it up.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your Dreams of Nature. What should we have a look at next? Should we have a look at some of the walking?
Yeah, you could show the Time Looper too.
Time Looper 2.
Kind of pleased with how that one turned out.
Time Looper. Oh, this one.
That's
That's the Time Looper.
2, part 2. That's the one where you go back in time.
Yeah. This is the newest one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And it's currently in the community jam.
Yeah.
For the time travelers.
That's right. Mm. Mm.
So I thought it would be interesting to make Seattle from the Queen Anne viewpoint. It's a place where I used to live near this spot.
Okay.
And I'd seen this view almost every day I took a walk. And I used a lot of your buildings and Anime Boy's buildings. And I have 2 of my own buildings in here, the Space Needle and the pointy tower on the far left.
I see it,
Of course, Mount Rainier. Yep.
And Mount Rainier, yes. Yeah, no, I do like that Space Needle is very good. So once we go into this bit, we sort of travel back in time.
Yeah, behind you is a portal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now what strikes me, so it's Seattle 225 years ago. If we're at the same viewpoint, the first thing that I notice is that there's a lot more water where there were buildings. So how do you explain that? Obviously, there's a reasoning behind it, how Seattle was built, but did they
partly
build on the water or reclaim?
Basically, they filled in a lot of the water.
Okay.
I moved the vantage point a little bit over to the right in this scene to get the Discovery boat coming in, but Seattle did fill in a lot of the water that came off of the Puget Sound.
Interesting.
And a lot of the city is kind of built on this fill.
I see. Well, that explains it then, because I was sort of looking, I was like, oh, okay, they're sort of reclaiming the land. And then if we go back again, we're going to go back much further now, and now we're in the Ice Age.
Yes.
10,000 years ago. And what I love here is that, if you look down, you'll see, there's a little stag.
Yes.
Running along.
Yeah, it was Sooty Pinion's stag, but somebody else had rigged it so the stag could walk around.
Brilliant. And then it just goes and it has a drink of water.
Yeah. So I tried to get a little bit of animation in each scene.
Yeah, no, that's nice. I like that. It just makes it feel a little more more live.
And the whole area 10,000 years ago was a large glacier. A lot of the Puget Sound was covered by glacier at this time.
Okay.
And so I kind of used Seattle as the sort of the transition period. Glaciers that were coming all the way from Canada down off of the mountains. Yes.
Interesting. And then if we go back once more, we end up in the prehistoric era, 66 million years ago, and there's some dinosaurs that are looking, quite annoyed with each other. Look like they're about to
one wants to eat the other. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sort of sizing each other up, aren't they? And then there's also a big long-necked one. There's a big long-necked one there. And then
probably a brontosaurus.
This caught me off guard the first time I played this. I was like, whoa, because I was actually looking around and I wasn't even looking. I sort of turned my eyes like, bang. It's like, whoa, what just happened? But makes sense. That's the moment before the meteor, and then we end up back here at present day, and it's kind of like that contrast. And the constant is the Mount Rainier. Because in the 60, the prehistoric, it was a volcano.
It's always a volcano, but it was an
actual
volcano.
Yeah, exactly. It was an active volcano in the prehistoric era, and you got the lava and stuff coming out. And then only all the other scenes, it's dormant, and it just looks like a huge mountain in the background. But that constant gives you the bearing, if you like, of where you are, and you sort of know you're in the same place, but just 66 million years apart. It's very cool. It's very was it inspired at all by Time Machine by H.G. Wells?
Probably, although I haven't seen that.
the 1960
movie or
version of the
story.
movie where
Yeah,
he's sort of
yeah.
going in. He's on one spot and everything is evolving around him, from present day all the way through to like the far far future, and there's wars and everything happening, and yeah, I can imagine that was that was kind of a maybe an indirect
It
or
was it was a subconscious.
yeah, a
Yeah, because I hadn't
subconscious
actually thought about
influence.
his thing. It just must have subconsciously got into my head,
Yeah,
and
quite
so I did
possibly.
it.
It's
Yep.
very, very, very good. Very nicely done. Very nicely
Thank
done.
you. So yeah, I have time for one more. So
Okay.
maybe show the cave one that I did this morning.
Okay, yeah, let's see the newest one. Here we go. So it's a
It's
waterfall cave study. Cave and
yeah,
waterfall study. And this is your newest one. So has this got some new assets
yeah. I
in
built
there?
some stalagmites and
Wow. Yeah, I can
some
see
cave
those.
rocks and stuff.
Oh, okay, yes. Very good. Look at that. Stalagmites and stalactites.
Yeah.
You got the light coming through there with the little plants. Again, we've got
Yeah,
the
so these are all
water.
my newest rock assets, and they're all available for anyone to use.
Mm. Yeah.
Most of those are
Mm.
1 or 2% thermo each, so they're
Which
really cheap.
is amazing because the detail on them for that is and what's great is they're so versatile because you've got the way that you make them, they're so jagged. You can just flip them, and they're always like
Yeah,
intersecting
flip
and they're
mirror.
joining, and yeah, exactly. And they just you build, you build this entire cave out of like one rock, right? One base
About
rock and the stalactites and
three.
things. Oh,
It's
there's
4 different rocks.
oh,
It's
okay.
4 different, but they're all cheap.
Mm.
Each one's like 1 or 2% thermo. And I built them with the same color schemes in mind, so that
Yeah.
you could just stack and mix them around and squish them together in
Mm.
different ways to.
And of course, you do the making the ones down by the water shiny to make them look wet
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Right.
Here's the waterfall, and we get a.
I have
Oh,
some
look!
loose rocks.
I'm rumbling.
Yep.
I'm actually rumbling. And
Yeah.
that's like the rock there.
So the whole scene's probably about 19% thermo, all things said and done,
Mm.
and
Which
maybe
is
under 10% gameplay, which is pretty cheap.
extremely efficient for what you've got there. Extremely efficient, and I think it's these scenes obviously have been seen by thousands of people in Dreams, and I think this is probably why you were asked to be a part of Noguchi's Bell, because they needed artists and sort of environment artists
Yes.
and people to make environmental assets, and you are perfectly suited
Yeah, I'm
for
just one of the
that thing.
artists.
Just one.
Yeah, I'm not one of the big, Saku's Mind is kind of the lead artist, so
Mm.
he's doing a lot of the scene arrangement, but I was asked to make a couple like custom assets, and then I've made enough that they just kind of use my assets in the scene.
Yeah,
In a lot of the
and
scenes they're
because
working on.
because they're low thermo as well, then you can do it. If we have we got time to show Last of the Humans, Last of the Humans 2,
Yeah, I got a little more time. You could roll that
because
in. Thank you.
this was one that you made in collaboration with Anime Boy, wasn't it? So
Yes.
if we play part 2, and actually we I think can be joined by Anime Boy as we play through this, so we can
Yes.
actually get both of
Yeah.
you talking about the scene. Hello, Anime Boy. Hello, hello, hello.
I heard the mic click.
I heard the mic. Yeah, I heard the mic. There was something going on. So yeah, this was made.
Hello.
Hello, welcome,
Hello.
welcome. So this was made, wasn't it? You made a part 1 a while ago.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, fantastic. So this was made part one a while ago, and then you wanted to expand it and make a second part and make it even more kind of epic and expand the story and create the narrative and more epic locations. And you got Anime Boy on board, and you two made a lot of the scenes in this together. Yes. And there's some absolute phenomenal scenes. So let's play through. And see. Remember this. This was your first sort of I don't know. Your kind of. I never understood Anime Boy project. It's.
Oh my god.
And then we have the trademark IansaneArtist presents scene.
I gotta make something like that. You know.
That's good.
So do you.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny because I've been using this trademark scene less lately. I've been kind of stepping away from it.
Oh, there's some of my hemlocks in the foreground there.
So the first run of this was quite short, wasn't it? But it was very striking, and it ended with you ending up in this cabin. It was only about 4 or 5 scenes linked together. This one really took it in a really epic and ambitious direction. So here's one of the infected. And
dun dun dun.
This is kind of where you left off. You kind of survived through the nature, and you found this kind of campsite in the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. And this was made quite a while ago. This was made like last summer, wasn't it? So this is actually over a year old.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, let me see, where do I need to...
Oh, he passed away.
I did. I mean, I went down and I somehow... Am I supposed to go down there?
No.
Oh, that would be why I died.
There's a different scene where it's the same like setup, and then you slide down, and there's a portal. That was part of the Dream Looper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Every single one of these has somewhere in.
Somewhere in, yes, that's right. So
I love this one.
Now we're in Seattle, and it's a bit destroyed.
Just a bit.
So we've got the walls, which is something that you've made, Ian.
A lot of my trees in here.
Yeah. Your houses as well.
Very heavy.
Very old houses in the background there. And then there's the Seattle buildings that you made for this, all beat up and decrepit.
You handed them to me to kind of destroy and beat up.
Yes, you did a good job of destroying them. They look suitably apocalyptic.
He sent me a screenshot and I was like, oh damn.
And
this one's like Nepal.
Yeah, this one is sort of like, I'm in the Himalayas. Why am I in the
it's just
Himalayas?
Michigan. It's just Michigan.
Yeah, where am I?
October.
And you like to introduce and you like to use sort of light gameplay elements, like platforming elements, in a lot of your scenes as well, to sort of string it together. So there's climbing, and there's actually a climbing mechanic, isn't there, where you can grab onto the ledge. I think we see it in this one, perhaps.
There is a grapple.
Yeah.
He actually redid this scene. It's called Silver Falls, and it's in Oregon.
Yes, I remember the review of this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. Very inspiring.
Yeah, and you sort of go out and you go to these places, in real life, and you come back all inspired, and then you're like, I must make this.
Pretty much.
And I mean that's kind of how Anime Boy is as well. He sort of goes somewhere, and he's sort of like, oh, I have to make this place, and he gets inspired by trees, especially, and it's like, I have to make that tree, and sort of, so you're both very much similarly inspired by
nature
and the real locations. Oh, here we go. I've got to do a bit of claiming.
I'm heavily inspired by different like subjects of architect, like architecture, because I went to Ypsilanti and it's mostly Dutch architecture, and I started making a bunch of Dutch assets that I haven't published yet.
I don't think I've even seen those.
Parkour skills come into
some
play
stuff
here.
I keep secret from even you.
I know, wow. So yeah, you have to do a bit of climbing, and you have to.
You'll get to the grapple mechanic here. There it is.
So much snow.
Yeah.
Lots of snow.
I seem to always mess that jump up the first time because I jumped too soon. Because the key thing with the jumping mechanic is you need to leave it quite late, don't you? Like literally, you've almost got a little bit more than you think to be able to walk. You know, to be able to run. So you can actually hit probably about half a second later. And for some of the jumps, you need to, otherwise you won't make it.
Ian, if we did this again, we should do like a break your leg, like mechanic, where if you fall from a very high height, it'd be like Far Cry, where you have to do the heat.
Ah, there we go. That's what I mean.
Put your leg back.
You have to just jump that little bit later, just to be able to make sure you make it. Oh, so here is.
Yeah, we have to figure out a storyline.
This is Pirates Cove.
Somewhere in paradise.
Yeah, because I think that's just the one thing that is lacking, is that a clear narrative structure. You're sort of bouncing around between all these places, but it's like, why? What's going on? Why am I getting thrown into all these places? And having some sort of, tangible reason for that.
I have a working theory.
Cool. Okay.
It's a hallucination from a zombie bite.
Pretty much. That's what it is.
Okay. Pretty cool hallucination. I mean,
right?
Peyote ain't got nothing on this.
Because if the zombie bites you, it takes time for the virus to get in and mess with your system. So as you're kind of battling the elements, you're battling the virus.
I see. Okay.
The virus.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting interpretation.
El viruso.
I think this is my favourite scene of the lot. This is Seattle again, but there's something about this. It's the water, the way the water's burst through, that doesn't look natural as such. It looks like maybe this used to be a road and the water's just sort of come and destroyed everything where once a main road was. And I just love the way that, you've got the buildings covered in moss, so we're obviously like quite far in the future, and this has been left for sometimes very, very Last of Us inspired, isn't it? This scene.
Pretty sure he got inspiration from The Last of Us 2, because there is a mission where you have to follow the river, which is actually the road down to the marina.
I see.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant.
The scenery
that was so fun.
I still have not played I still have not played The Last of Us 2, so it's definitely something I need to get on at some point. I really enjoyed
the story. Is a hit and miss situation, but the gameplay and scenery is really good.
I mean, you have my account info. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So this is great.
Yep.
This is really, really nice.
More of my trees. They're so old.
Yeah, those older trees.
I look at them and I'm just like, no.
I love the comment there. Why those palm trees? No, like the palm trees.
Why are those palms? They're prehistoric palm trees in a prehistoric scene.
So now we're in. This is
Austria.
Yeah. So you've got the castle on the mountainside there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I seem to remember this one. I had a bit of trouble on this one getting the jump right. So let's see if I can do it first time.
I was talking to you while you were playing this.
Christ. Yeah, it's... yeah, I remember failing the jumps miserably.
And then I sent you a screenshot of me getting the jump, and you're like, how?
I'm trying to jump to restarted there. I don't need to.
Soon.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my old flowers. Those things are laggy as hell.
Oh, there's a prize bubble over there. Yeah, I like the way you just hide the prize bubbles. You know, it's cool to just go exploring and find them. Oh, I don't think you can go there, can you? I think that's why I keep getting wrong. I've got to go to the left because that jump is not makeable.
Break your legs, break them. Break your legs.
No, you can make the jump on the right.
You can. Okay.
Yes. You just have to get the edge, and then the grapple will kick in. But perhaps the jump's a little trickier than I meant it to be.
Yeah.
Hit it with the left. Hit it with the right.
Probably just needs to be brought in a little bit more, perhaps, just so it's a little shorter.
It was tricky. I was trying to get it because if I brought it in too much, he just didn't grapple.
So you're trying. Yeah. So you're trying to.
I was trying to find that sweet spot to where if you make the jump right, he'll grapple onto it. But you have to make the jump right.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. The second time I played this, I made it to the other side on the left side. Because the rocks are just jagged enough.
Okay, well maybe I think that might have been how I ended up doing it. To be honest, the first time I played it,
I did like a Skyrim jumping thing.
Yeah, like jumpy, jump.
Jump.
Yep,
just like that.
Yep, that's it. I jagged my way through, which is probably for the best because I was really struggling with that jump. We could have been here all night. Yeah, that jump, I do remember actually that caused me issues the first time I played it, and I think I actually did what I just did there. Yeah, I think I don't know why, but I just couldn't make it. But we made it. We made it the jaggy way.
Ooh, this one's pretty. Davis Falls it is in Washington.
Yes.
Very nice.
But a fantasy falls.
Everything is fantasy here. That's why it's called Dreams.
Pretty much.
Oof.
The plug-in was shameful. Go ahead and sponsor me, MM.
I think
that's
the problem. I think that I keep jumping too soon, and again, it's that thing where you almost got like an invisible part beyond the rock that you can walk on to make it, and I think that's why I keep messing up the jumps, because I'm jumping a bit too soon.
There it is. You got it.
You get up. Oh, nope. Turn. Jump. There you go.
It's funny, you're saying that. It's like, yep, I'm doing that. I'm already done that. Oh, now where are we? It's hot.
It looks very hot.
Mm-hmm.
I see palm trees of some sort.
Ooh,
oh, I know where it is. I'm not gonna say nothing though. I feel like I might know who made this one. Oh yeah, I did.
Who is it? Oh, we getting a raid from Les Lady.
Raid!
Why?
Raid!
It's the raid parade.
Thank you for the raid.
Hello, welcome. We are playing IansaneArtist. We've been talking to IansaneArtist about his amazing work, and we're now currently playing Dreams of Nature part. No, we're not. We're playing Last of the Humans. We played Dreams of Nature. Now we're playing
Dreams of Humans.
Last of the Humans Part 2, which was made by IansaneArtist and Anime Boy, and they are both in the chat with us, talking about what they did.
What's
oh,
up?
look, this looks like Florida. You don't say.
Oh, it's Florida!
It's Florida!
Oh. No, I thought it was Kentucky.
Yeah, what a combo, Pierre Rogi. It's definitely a dream team. So, this one's Florida.
Florida. I did the water.
Florida. Yeah, nice. There's a satisfying.
Yeah, this one's mostly Anime Boy's work. The scene.
The rocks were given to me by IansaneArtist. Clap for yourself, sir.
Oh, goody.
This is a nice little flowery bush that you've used around.
It's actually a mimosa tree.
Ah, okay. Very good.
We've used it in Miami.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
Ooh, now we in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. This is actually
the super long one.
This is a very good. This is the one they played on MM stream actually, and they really loved. And I was really surprised they didn't MM pick it because they seemed to love it, like when they were playing it.
But here's the funny thing. Just the funny thing is they streamed this one. They streamed this one. This came out around the same time as the full one, but they ignored the Last of the Humans Part 2, which had the scene in it.
Ooh.
They decided to kind of go straight for the scene instead of the whole story.
Yeah, that's
the
really
log
cool.
fell.
The log falls as you're running across.
Yeah, that was my idea. I came up with like the idea of the log falling, and then I was like, "Yo, Ian, can you do the voice actor for this?" He was like, "Yeah, how do you want to do it?" And I was just like, just pretty much say like, "Oh shit!"
He's like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
I can't do that because it's dreams. I was like, "Well, come up with a more polite version, I guess."
Yeah.
Maybe because trees has apples, so sometimes an apple is copyrighted.
Oh no.
Yep, anything tree related belongs to Apple Corporation.
Oh god.
We're screwed.
We have to get rid of trees if we want it to be seen.
Oh, that rock did something strange. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that was.
It just stopped.
It just stopped. It's like,
did you have a trigger zone on it?
I think you have, haven't you? You've got it so that it only
It's
sort of does it. So if you step back, it's just like rock stop.
Rock go. Red light, green light.
Pretty much.
Red light, green light.
It's funny, isn't it, when we're learning? Yeah, when we're learning.
I've learned that basically you put a counter. When you hit the trigger zone, you put a counter logic on it. So you just have the counter trick to one, and then it just plays the animation, the timeline. But before, I just stuffed in the trigger zone with no counter, so you could control the rock. It was in. That's pretty funny, though.
So I went to Alabama, and I saw my brother, and that's when he told me that his fiance was pregnant. And that was during this really pretty hike. We walked up a mountain and behind a waterfall and through a cave, and that's basically what I based this off of. I was gonna call it somewhere in Alabama, but I ended up making the mountains too big, so I just called it Tennessee.
And of course, I worked on a lot of it too. The scene, and of course, I always make things more vertical and.
This is a true collaboration because both of you have put a lot of yourself into.
Yeah, we both
scene.
Worked on this one a lot.
Put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this.
What's interesting as well is like you said to me, Tennessee looks a lot like Wales, or Wales looks a lot like Tennessee. Like when you saw pictures of Wales, you were like, "Damn, that's like Tennessee."
That's just Tennessee. British Tennessee. That's.
And actually, when you look out over the hills and stuff in a moment, when we get to that point with the churches are, that does look a lot like Wales. I must
Welcome
admit.
to not Gatlinburg. What's a Welsh town? No, let me think. What's that one?
What letter did it begin with?
P. And I laughed my butt off.
P. Oh, well, there's loads beginning with P.
Just name one.
Pontypridd.
That one's funny.
Pontynevechen is where there's like a big waterfall.
Nevechen?
Yeah, Pontynevechen.
That sounds Arabic.
Well, yeah, I think maybe Welsh and Arabic share some. No, I don't know. It's just the way we pronounce stuff. Pwllheli? Yeah, Pwllheli. Pwllheli. I remember the first time I played this, actually, I was like, ooh, look at those churches. And I walked too close to the edge and I fell down and I died and I had to start all over again. I was like, no! But yeah, this is very like Wales. This is kind of looking across. Yeah, actually, Night Owl and Raco are both Welsh, like me. So, yeah, we've got like 3 Welsh people in this
Cardiff.
At the moment. Yeah, so Night Owl's Cardiff, Raco, I believe, is Cardiff, yeah, I'm sort of, but not quite Cardiff.
I think Cardiff's where it's hopping in Wales.
Well, Cardiff's the capital city of Wales. It's the biggest city of Wales. It's where most of the things are. So yeah, it's it was put on the map a few years ago when they had like loads of big sporting events at the stadium there and things. And yeah.
Where's this darn portal already?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He gets annoyed, doesn't he? Because he's just like,
oh, there it is.
Oh, and here we go.
Here's another long one.
Yeah, but I mean, this one is another urban decay. And again, this one, like the Seattle one that we saw earlier, this one does such a great job.
Oh, I had a lot of fun making this one.
I remember watching you make part of this actually, and it's really cool.
I remember you test playing it, and you're just like, I got stuck in the bus.
Yeah, that's true. I got stuck in the bus and I couldn't get out because the gap wasn't quite big enough based on the angle. So, as I say, Los Angeles Post, May the 23rd, 2035. A country in panic. A virus was discovered today in Seattle, Washington. It is said to have caused the outbreak of ill-tempered citizens throughout the United States. These infected citizens are not to be treated at home. You must take the infected citizen to a hospital, for the bite alone will leave you brain dead, as well as crave human flesh. The rest is ruined.
Yeah, that's fun coming up with that little story.
I love it. The only thing that's missing is that classic newsreader line from the movie Shaun of the Dead, which is remove the brain, where they're like, aim for the brain. The only thing you can do is
shoot their head off. Yeah, but it's LA, so it has to be some ghetto. So like, ASH, shoot their head off.
Oh right, here we go. This is the bit. This is the thing where you can't exit the thing.
Oh God. Alright, just rewind. I never fixed that.
You never fixed the broken newspaper.
It has been 2 years.
It wasn't 2 years ago you made this one. It was like
a year and a half. I don't know.
A year and a bit. Yeah, it was a year and a bit. But yeah, I was saying, like, you know, it's over a year old. This Last of Humans Part 2.
Oh, those palm trees. Oh, kill them with fire.
Oh wow, yeah, they're really old, aren't they? Dead inside. I like the way you've got the lights in the buildings just kind of going off randomly. Yeah,
God, that building alone is like 5% gameplay.
This is the bus.
No, don't go.
Will I still get stuck? Did you not actually fix?
I never fixed it.
Oh my God.
Don't go in it.
Don't go in the bus. Ah, you raided.
We raided.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Ah, raid.
Ninja Mike was.
Wait, go back to the wall.
The wall?
Back to the wall.
The wall. This wall?
The wall.
Oh, this wall?
Yeah, the wall. The one that says
Dead?
Harwood.
The one that says what? Dead inside.
Dead inside. You know, just a little shout out to The Walking Dead.
Uh-huh.
Go back to the wall. There's a hit square.
No, because it'll do that thing where it breaks.
No, I fixed this one.
Oh, okay, fine.
I forgot about the newspaper.
Oh, okay, cool. Hollywood is treated as a dead zone. Anyone in the area was considered infected and killed on sight. After the citizens retaliated and overthrew the army just to be blown to dust. Now all that stands is the sign on the mountain and the barricade around it. And the only person that lives there is Bill frickin' Murray.
Zombieland! That was Beverly Hills, by the way. Because they were talking about 90210 and how the only people that would have quote-unquote survived was like Bob Marley and Tom Cruise. And then Tallahassee was just like, nope, Bill Murray. Hey, you brought up my favorite movie, okay?
I know it wasn't coincidental.
Oh no, you can't get out.
No, I can. I'm skilled.
Oh, pass away.
Or am I? I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go.
You're stuck.
No,
I think the trees are collidable too.
I'm free.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, the leaves. You make the leaves non-collidable and just the trunk.
Well, yeah, in real life you could just push them out of the way.
Exactly. Exactly.
Skyline.
Oh yeah.
One more thing.
Yeah. So we got to look at the destroyed LA skyline.
Oh, the cringe, it's so bad. Compared to the new one, that is horrendous. Oh, God. It's so bad. Oh, that building's not even over there. Ugh, walk away. Walk away.
Yeah. This looks like one of the later areas in Last of Us 2. Yep, I think it was heavily inspired by The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It was inspired by the Last of Us 1 and this scene I did in Minecraft. This map I did in Minecraft of a destroyed Los Angeles.
Oof. There we go. So.
But it's not Los Angeles, it's Santa Barbara in The Last of Us 2.
Ah.
Ugh, why do you look like that? You look like my brother.
You better hope your brother's not like, lurking in the stream.
Probably not. I do send him things, he's just like, you like stream on Twitch and stuff? I'm like, yeah. He's like, but that's not a real job. I'm like, boy, stop.
Tell that to Elka. Elka's making a living.
Yeah, tell that to people who are
rings.
literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing Twitch.
Yeah. What the?
Oh, look. An explosion. Wow. I'm such a dead inside human being that if someone were to nuke the area I live in, I would just look at it, put some sunglasses on, and be like, alright. There's blood on me.
There is blood on me.
Yeah, so it's basically a long dream.
It's a long dream.
It's the sort of equivalent of Who Shot JR in Dallas. Oh, it was all a dream. It's a sort of, it's like, wait. So if you do a part 3, is that going to be taking place in the real world?
Yeah.
Part 3 was originally supposed to be just a bunch of chaos. like we had this whole thing set up where it was gonna be like Kansas, you get swept up by a tornado. Hawaii, you get blown up by a volcano. What was it? Utah, you get caught up in a wildfire, and Florida, hurricane, and I think California, tsunami or earthquake. It was just like it was pure chaos.
Yeah.
But we decided to scrap some of that. We haven't really talked about part 3 in like a year or so, because we talked about it before I moved from Florida, and then, you know, for 5 months I didn't have my PlayStation. Sad face. And we haven't really spoken about it since then, but there was one scene that actually I want to send to you if you have a little more time. There was one scene I did that does pop up at the end of Last of the Humans Part 2.
Does it? It didn't pop up then.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird.
Maybe it didn't get updated. Like, the dream didn't get updated, perhaps, with it.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and...
This is China, isn't it? This is a Chinese scene. This is interesting, because a lot of the times you do more kind of North America sort of scenes, and this one you were sort of like, let's do something a bit different.
More in
and
Asia,
you've got very different sort of rocks and vegetation and things in this one. They're interesting, actually, these rocks. They're very tall. They're very they're not sort of rocks that you would see in the US.
Wait, it's unlisted? Oh, that's messed up.
What's unlisted?
I sent it to you, but yeah, go ahead and check that out when you can.
You released it.
Well, I need to head on out here, but thanks for having me.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, it was great, man. Thanks so much for stopping by. And,
I really appreciate this.
Chatting about your work. Let's have a look at this scene that you just sent me very very quickly, because let's have a look. Where do we go? Somewhere in Michigan. Okay. Cool. So this is one that you guys made for The Last of the Humans Part 3, but obviously that's not been released, so neither is this scene. This is a little laggy, but it's still gorgeous to walk around. It's laggy because of all the paint and stuff. On PS5 it would be, you know, absolutely fine, but base PS4 does struggle with physical paint, and there is a lot of physical paint, and there's also a lot of moving trees, and this was before you learned how to optimize the movement. So everything in the scene is basically waving at the moment, even if you can't see it, because there's no trigger zones or anything to just do it when you're close by. So yeah, if it's a little bit laggy, that is why. But this is, once we get to the shoreline.
This one is probably my best sunset.
Really, and that's saying something, actually. That is, because you know, that is, that's you've done a lot of beautiful sunsets and these kind of these kind of scenes. The lighthouse that you made. I remember when you made this lighthouse, you were just like, wow, look at this lighthouse.
It took forever. What did it take me, like 8 hours? Because I did each individual brick using stamp, and you were just like, why? And I was like, I don't know.
And then you've boarded it up, and you've given it this kind of apocalyptic look again.
Apocalyptic? That's just Michigan. You seen any pictures of Detroit?
and you wouldn't expect to see it looking like that though on the coast. You know, you'd think it would be quite nice over on the coast.
No, I'm just kidding. Not all of Michigan is like that. That's actually a stereotype. Michigan is probably one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ian has left the stream.
Ian has left the building. But
Ian has left the building.
Thank you, Ian, for for joining. Really cool chatting with you about your process, about your work, and the, you know, some of the tips and techniques and things that you use. Hopefully, it's given people some inspiration for their next scenes and their next projects. Does the sun go down on this one, or is it just sunset?
It's just dormant. Okay. I didn't want to like mess with the lighting or anything because I have all these trees swaying and it's already laggy as hell. But the one thing I'm really proud of is the way the water's moving. The water's literally just the sand piece I found on the Dreamverse, which I used throughout the entire level. And it's just blue and shiny and it's shimmering. It looks just like Lake Michigan. I love it. It looks awesome.
It's this bit that you use, is it? Just with different...
Yeah, it's just with different colors, different textures. I use a signal generator and a keyframe for all of the water. Unless this was back then, so I definitely use an action recorder for each individual piece. Oh god. Don't explain why it'd be so laggy. Yeah. You're not even supposed to go in the water. Oh god.
Yeah. You need to put a invisible barrier or something to stop me from...
There's a book on the chair that when you read the book, after you're done reading it, it says blah 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 traders blah blah blah, and then a zombie pops up from out of the woods and chases you.
Where's this book?
It's in front of the lighthouse by the burning bodies campfire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I sent you a screenshot of that and you're like, that's dark. I was like, that's just me.
Here we go, this is the book.
Book.
Ooh. I found where the Kalkaska harvest, you missed the T, where...
Yeah, I did.
Let me proofread for you in future. A lighthouse on the Lake Michigan coast near Frankfort. They stole food and supplies from us, and I intend on getting it back. It's been 4 months and winter is almost here, so I must try to reason with them. We'll see how this... To be fair, it could just be the character. You know, it could just be the characters, kind of...
In Michigan, we forget T's.
Yeah. Well, no, you didn't forget the T. Oh, no, you did forget the T. Must try. Yeah, no, yeah. You've got a T, but there's a T, so it's kind of like must try. Like must
See, it was
try.
so cool when I made this because I used multiple, like, fleck types to create, like, the blood on the paper, and I found this really nice handwriting, like font and everything, and I just used like the splat to make it look like an old sheet of paper that's been sitting there for a while.
It's very cool, but now I can't put it down. It's literally unputdownable.
It's square.
Nope. It's got the same problem. Yep, it's got the same issue as that other scene that I had to reset.
No. Alright, just walk through the portal. I'll guide you. Go left. No, go right. Go right. Go left.
My view is being obscured by an oversized piece of paper.
I can see it. Go left.
If I find the lighthouse, I'll be okay because I know it's like just there. But
all you can see is trees.
Right, it's over there. It's over there. It's
You're
up
stuck
there.
in a bush.
It's up there.
Follow the cottonwoods.
It's like, I can't put the paper away.
That is how people talk up north, though. They forget their T's, so it sounds like they say harvesters and must. We must go to the store or store. Store. In Michigan we have this problem where we put S at the end of every store, so it's Dollar Generals, Dollar Trees, Myers, Kroger's, Walmart's.
We do that in the UK as well. We call it Tesco's and Asda's and stuff, but it's just Asda and Tesco. Yeah, it's just there it is. It's
but
just,
I bet you.
I don't know. It's a thing.
I bet y'all don't call patio doors door wall.
Door walls.
Corner stores, we call them
not.
party stores. They're liquor stores and gas stations in one. And they're called party stores, and they sell pizza and like everything.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We're just gonna see even though Ian's not with us anymore because he's had to go. But we can still. What am I looking for?
We gonna creep on some more of his creations.
We are. I'm struggling to remember how to use the search function.
What are you doing?
I don't actually know. You know, I think the easiest thing I can do is go to my profile, go to the thing, search for
drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drugs.
I'm forgetting how to dream. This is it. I'm just forgetting.
You've been so tired that you forgot how to dream. Oh no.
I did. Drugstore.
Oh no.
Mount YOLO. Let's play Mount YOLO because Mount YOLO is one of his more recent ones. It's very cool. Made for the YOLO Jam runner-up. And if you play it, first of all, you can play it as a one-night thing and get on the scoreboard. But I pussied out and I basically just played it without that.
Yeah, you did.
Well, to be fair, I died and it said, do you want to do something or other? And I said yes. I didn't realise that meant I wasn't playing with the scoreboard. So, yeah. But this is cool because you have to get to the top of that mountain and you have to avoid all the rocks and you have to avoid, you do some jumps, avoid the rocks falling, avalanches. You know, there's quite a lot of danger.
This is actually based off of a scene called, what was it called? The Paramount Mountain from, like, the movies and stuff. He made that in Far Cry 5, and you have to get to the top by, like, dodging zombies and people with guns and falling rocks and stuff like that, and he did that in Far Cry 5. So that was based off of that.
Right, okay, fantastic. Yeah, it's a pretty tall mountain, and we've got to get all the way
to the top.
Up here where the flag is. And we need to do it without dying. So, yeah,
that's why it's called Mount YOLO. Yep. You only live once.
I think the trickiest part is where you've got to go across the side of the mountain with the avalanches falling on you. So let's see how we go.
Right.
Touch rock piles as you progress. Okay.
Don't fall.
Okay, there's
it's not a
zero.
good thing.
Oh shit! Right. Oh my god.
Oh shnikes!
It was difficult to see it because of all the smoke or whatever being kicked up. Not smoke, but the snow, dust being kicked up. I couldn't see the rocks initially coming down. But you can see the rocks waiting there, just like, oh, except that one. That one's just like a bullet shooting across.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I have my first checkpoint. How many checkpoints can you get? 2. Oh, it's interesting how the camera is twisting, like as oh my god. Oh, as you go up and down. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
Well, I mean, like Elvis once said, do the twist. Take my by a little hand. Boom,
oh my god.
Go like this.
Oh my god, that one's like coming right at me. Ooh.
No, don't pass away.
I'm good.
No, don't pass away.
It's interesting because you're just running up this huge incline.
It reminds me of climbing the Throat of the World in Skyrim, which is the tallest mountain in the entire Elder Scrolls universe. It's like elevation is like 12,000 or something, which is insane for a video game.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's make sure I don't get hit by a rock here. So, let's see this one's... I think once you get past this bit, then it gets a little bit easier.
Oh, you said it, take a shot.
Bit? Damn, I can't, because... Actually, yeah, I got a little bit, it might be okay. Okay.
I'm drinking watermelon water.
Jump off right before the end. I would do that, but I've never actually completed this to get on the scoreboard, so my aim here is to get completing it.
Your aim is trash, mate.
Wait, have I just been there? Where do I go? I need to go there. Do I go there? No. Oh, I gotta go up here. Cool. And then I've got to cut.
Don't fall!
I'm not gonna fall. But I might get crushed by
I
a
agree
rock.
with Ninja. Jump off at the end and say YOLO.
Okay. If I get that far.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? YOLO.
Okay.
It's time to pass away.
First of all, I gotta make sure I don't get hit by a rock.
Well, I mean, instead of saying YOLO, you could say pass away pizza.
YOLO sounds more thematic.
You hate the pass away pizza. Admit it!
I mean, I have no opinion of it either way. Oop. Run, 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 run. Yes, you made it.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't get me. I'm the YOLO man.
Ooh, what's going on? Are these falling? Yes! Okay, cool.
Pass away!
No.
Shh. Don't shush me!
Run, 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 run. Oh, no! No, 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 no. No.
See, I think he died. I'm not entirely sure. What do y'all say?
Yeesh. I'm not sure. I can't understand why.
Yeesh.
I can't understand
Yeesh.
why I died there because
you suck?
I waited to run, but the rock still got me. I mean,
See, but you denied me of the pass away pizza, so I used my powers for evil. Do not deny me of the pass away pizza.
that one is a really fast rock.
Yeah. I think I was talking to him while he was making this, and I was just like, what is it? He's like, I don't know yet. I was like, okay. It looks pretty either way.
Oh.
Making a gate.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah!
Did you die again?
I did not, but it was certainly
Good.
hairy.
Was it Harry?
Hairy like the wolf.
No, it was Harry like Potter.
Oh, I got 4 this time. I must have missed one last time. I must have missed one of the checkpoints because I only got 3 last time.
Dude, I think there's like 12.
Yeah, I know, but last time I only got 3, but I got further than I am now. But now I got 4, so I must have not activated one of the checkpoints. Like that one back there, I must have not activated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's like 12 checkpoints or something.
12.
You only
12.
live once. Oh, what's the bottom?
Yellow.
You only live twice. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
I mean,
do. You're not
I mean,
fan, are you? No. No. Okay. Oh no.
I loved GoldenEye, the video game.
Oh, the video game. Okay. Yeah, the video game was good. The movie was good too.
Timmy and I used to like go ham on each other. There was one time he threw the controller at our box TV. He threw a controller at a box TV.
Wow.
Who does that? I was like, this is the only TV we gonna get from Mom and Dad, and you gonna throw a controller at it? Asshole.
Right,
That's why we have this...
Where I died last
What?
time. This is where I died last time.
That's why we have a saying in my family, Timmy break. Because that's what Timmy do, he break. I started saying that after I was playing like a lot of Uncharted, and my mom and I were just like, Nathan Drake, more like Nathan Break. And then Timmy broke something, and I was like, more like Timmy break. And then that became a thing in the family.
Timmy broke.
Because he broke, yes, because he broke my grandma's fan in her apartment, and she had to pay for it, and they took it out of her security deposit.
Alright, we're making it. We're making it. We're just gonna get past this one. Woo!
Right
There
before you jump off, say YOLO! It's gonna suck if you get all the way to the top, and then you just die. You have been jinxed, haha.
I feel like once you get up here, you move faster, but that might just be because of the way that the terrain changes.
It's more dry.
It is more
Which
dry.
is ironic because it's on top of the mountain. But the cliffs are... cliffs. Oh, English.
The
cliffs. The cliffs. I don't know. I learned everything in Alabama.
You're not Englishing very well, are you?
What is English?
Oh,
14% for offense? No.
You're making a fence.
I don't know, am I?
It certainly
I wish that
sounds
one
like
thing was working. The reduced detail thing was working.
Well, here's an interesting thing. So, Media Molecule today have announced on their Trello that there is a new major update coming, 2.32, in October. One of the things that they're doing is they're fixing that. However, that's not all. Guess what else is coming? You're going to love this. Decimal places for Thermo. 2 decimal places will be ours to be able to view Thermo in more detail. Oh yes, it is finally happening, people. After 3 years, we'll finally be able to have a more accurate understanding of how much Thermo something takes. Where 0.01% has been rounded up to 1, we'll now be able to actually see its actual cost. That is going to be a godsend. Another thing that they're adding, which Martin is particularly interested in, and is going to make his job with the car in MSR much easier, is they're adding...
Night Owl 69.
Exactly. Is they are adding all of the extra advanced calculator functions. So sine, cos, tan, all of that is getting added.
I want a new flag.
In the new update. They are saying that this is the first of several creator-focused updates, and there is more... Woo! Was that a rock? Was that a rock? I didn't know there was a rock coming down there with them.
I gave him that idea. Suck it!
Damn it, that nearly killed me.
Ha ha ha.
Damn.
That was my idea when I was playtesting it.
Okay.
I was like, you should put a rock right here. He's like, okay.
No! No! I fell! No! I fell! No!
That, kids, is why you don't listen to your teachers, because they fail.
No!
I'm kidding.
That sucks. Oh. Well, you know what? At least... How did you get 20 rock piles? Are there 20 rock piles? I think I have 20 rock piles.
You're gonna hate me.
You got 16. You got 20. I got 9. Okay. I'm gonna hate you.
I want to do something in South Central.
Oh God.
No, it doesn't revolve trees.
Oh, okay.
It revolves roads.
No, don't mess with the roads.
Why? My new ones are
fine.
so pretty and thermo efficient.
No, because the ones I've used is so thermo efficient and they work perfectly, so no.
Me.
Hey, Afro Man, how you doing?
I love me some afros.
I am looking for... Is it the Dream Looper? Yeah, the Dream Looper.